In today's episode, we're going to take a look at 3 different dragon attacks that you might want to try out at Town Hall 11 in your clan war. Stay tuned. Hey, what's going on, guys? Joe here, coming at you today from Town Hall 11, and today we're over here in Elite Academy, and we are going to take a look at 3 different dragon attacks on 3 different bases. They're all different base styles, so you're going to have to pay attention to this type of attack used on the specific base that it was used on. So we have an E-Drag attack, we have a Dragbat, and then we also have this Dragon Queen charge with earthquake spells. It's interesting. You have to pay attention to this. As we look at this base, the main thing that stands out to you are the 4 air defenses and where they're located. So you have 2 down here in the south and 2 up in the northeastern side of the base. You have a lot of trash on the outside, a lot of buildings to basically keep you from funneling into the base and cause a lot of distractions for you. And then you have the queen and the clan castle, as well as the eagle artillery centrally located in this base. As we look at the army, we have 7 dragons. We got some healers for the queen walk. You also have an E-Drag, a stone slammer which houses balloons, and then you have the earthquake spells and some rages. We're going to start out with the Barbarian King down here in the south, and he's going to work on the town hall. So we're basically cleaning. We want to take out a few of these buildings around the 2 different flanks. That way the queen goes into the base and not stray on the outside. So we have a baby dragon dropped over there on the army camp, and it's going to move its way into the second army camp and then be picked off by the air defense. The Barbarian King is still working, and he's going to take down this town hall, and then you're going to see the queen drop. Now the queen's ability is going to be used because we can't drop the healers just yet because the king is too close. If you drop the healers early, the healers will shift over to that king since he has taken damage, and so we had to wait till there's a little bit of distance in between the 2 heroes. So that queen is going to have the healers placed on her, and then the earthquake spells are going to open up 4 different compartments here, and this is going to allow the queen to move into the base on the second air defense, then the wizard tower, then the inferno tower, and she's going to continue to progress under a rage spell assisting with the health. There's going to be a sweeper there, there's going to be a poison spell drop for the clan castle troops, and then another rage to keep this queen going. And the idea here is to get in there, take down the queen. Even though it's dragons, it does help to take down the eagle artillery as well. So she's going to take care of the enemy clan castle troops as well as that expo moving into the air sweeper, and this is going to assist with taking down a lot of this side of the base to keep our dragons focused on the north side. You're going to see an E-Drag, an Electro dragon, dropped over there in the eastern corner, and it's going to start working on these buildings that are grouped up. The stone slammer is going to lead the way into the air defense, followed up by the dragons. The queen is still working in there. She's going to take down that clan castle as well as the eagle artillery, and this is going to help our dragons out a ton. The Grand Warden is backing them up, and we have a little bit of a split on our dragons. We have some dragons moving back down towards the south to take down a bomb tower, and you have the main group working with the queen as well as the Grand Warden, and the Stone Slammer still going. So the Stone Slammer is going to continue to follow the defenses up into that final air defense. The balloons are going to emerge, the Grand Warden's ability is going to be used, and our dragons are going to work through that Inferno Tower and up into that final air defense. Queen has worked her way back outside of the base, or about to be outside of the base. She's working on some buildings. The dragons are over there paired up with her, assisting with some cleanup on the south side or the southwestern side of the base. And then you have the balloons and dragons working their way from the northern point back down towards the western corner. So they're going to take out all these collectors and elixir pumps. Rage spell drop for those balloons, and the balloons are going to move into that final Tesla, taking it down. It's just beautiful work here by Burning Dragon. Awesome attack to see, but that's just one way that you could use the dragons. We're going to get into a Dragbat attack next that you're going to absolutely love. Okay, so in this replay we do have Lord Master Ward. He changed his name. It used to be Lord Master Sir. He was in a couple of our other videos, Dragbat or Pekka-Bobat, if I remember correctly. All right, so as we look at this base, the biggest key indicator between this base and the previous replay is you have all of the wizard towers down here in the south side. So it looks like we have 5 wizard towers down here in the first couple of compartments in the south, and then you have all of the air defenses on the north side of the base. So that's something that is a major difference between the first replay and this replay. And you are going to see this army used with the 8 dragons, 1 E-Drag, you got 9 balloons, a stone slammer that houses balloons, as well as the bat spells, 2 of those being donated bat spells from a higher level. And so the main emphasis and focus of this attack is going to start out in the south side. That way we can sweep our bat bats on the back end of the attack. And you're going to see the balloon snuck in there to tank for that E-Drag, and basically its purpose is to seek out the Seeking Air Mines, as well as giving that E-Drag some time to get a shot off and possibly take down that Archer Tower. It was unsuccessful, but it has done plenty of damage over there. It's taken out multiple buildings, and then you're going to see the Barbarian King dropped over here in the southern corner, taking out a few buildings. And what we are doing is setting the funnel for our dragons, clearing out buildings on both sides. That way the dragons stay focused from the southern point and move up towards the north. That Ice Golem does tank for the Queen and frees up multiple defenses, allowing the Barbarian King time to get up there and start tanking for this Queen. And the Queen is going to step in, take out a mortar. Then she's going to move into an Archer Tower, and then she's going to take out this Wizard Tower. Her ability is going to be used, and she's continuously clearing out buildings and defenses. That way our dragons do not detour, and they actually go straight through the core of this base. Next, you're going to see your dragons drop down here on the town hall, followed by some balloons, and the balloons are going to work ahead of those dragons, taking out some defenses or attempting to take out some defenses. Clan Castle troops are going to be pulled into baby dragons. A poison spell is going to be placed back behind them. The baby dragons moved a little bit faster than looks like Ward was anticipating, and the Grand Warden's ability is going to be used to allow those dragons to work through the baby dragons, take them down, and into the Queen. On the western side, you saw the Stone Slammer move in and take down that single target Inferno Tower, and since all the Wizard Towers are gone, we can use the Bat spells to flank in, and they are going to take on that next Wizard Tower, or that next Inferno Tower, the air defense, and they are going to take out defenses along the way, working on the Expo up into a Tesla. Freeze spell on that next to last air defense, and then you're going to see them move into that air defense, and then a freeze spell dropped on the final air defense, as well as the Grand Warden and that Archer Tower. We also have dragons up there, so that works out great. The dragons and the Grand Warden are kind of tied up on a Barbarian King, but that's fine. King does finally fall, the final air defense falls, and all we have left is, looks like a cannon and an Archer Tower and some minions on the opposite side, taking care of some buildings for cleanup. So we have plenty of brute here. We got the dragons, and those dragons will do very well on finishing up this base for a beautiful 3-star attack. But hopefully you do see the difference between the first replay and the second replay on what defenses were placed where. That's really a key indicator on what attacks to use. Let's go ahead and get into that E-Drag attack now. And for our third and final replay, we do have an Electro Dragon sweep type attack. I promise you that I did not do this purposely, but we do have Lord Master Ward again. I don't know how that played out. I was looking at the replays and I really like this base, because as we look at this base, you will notice that all of the buildings inside walls are stacked on top of each other. Just try to envision that there are no buildings on the outside of the base or on the outside of the walls, but that you will see that all of these defenses are stacked. No space in between. This is perfect for the chain lightning effect from your E-Drags, and that's exactly what is going to be taken advantage of on this base. That is the main key indicator of this base. It's not based on Archer Towers or air defenses or Wizard Towers, but just a matter of the fact of funneling the E-Drags into this location. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to use the Barbarian King on one side, the Archer Queen on the opposite side of the base, and we are basically setting up the two flanks, taking out buildings along the way. That way the E-Drags and balloons will focus on the core and work their way all the way through. King has taken out multiple buildings down here in the southwestern side of the base. It's worked up into a elixir storage. The Queen has taken out multiple buildings, and you're going to see 4 balloons dropped and then the E-Drags backing them up. They are going to take on this group of buildings on this side, and you see how quickly they fall since they are stacked. We are seeing the Stone Slammer flanked in on the opposite side, going into the northern point of defenses, and the target here is that air defense. So we have E-Drags all grouped up, balloons are going to emerge, and then the Grand Warden's ability is going to be used as those balloons move into that air defense. The Rage spell, a freeze spell are going to be dropped in the core, and the balloons will fall due to the air defense down there in the south. So as you can see, this base is basically disintegrated due to the design. The design itself is the major flaw because of the E-Drag. And so the groups of E-Drags are able to chain those abilities together and take out multiple defenses pieces together and basically just completely wipe the base with ease. They make it look too easy. They made it look incredibly too easy, but it's really based on the fact that the defenses are stacked on top of each other. There was no spacing in between, and we have what looks like 4 Electro Dragons still going. So hopefully, I'm really hoping that you were able to see the defensive differences between the bases, or the major difference between the bases. Our first replay with the air defenses on the corners, and then the second replay with the wizard towers down on one side and the air defenses up on the north side. And then this replay here with all of the buildings stacked like they were. It just opened it up perfectly for the Electro Dragons to work and just completely sweep it with ease. So again, this is me doing my best to help you suck less. Smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and thanks for watching, guys.
Whoa!
There it is.
That just scared the crap out of me. I'm not even gonna lie to you. That thing just literally scared me.
So we have a new setup. We have a lot of things coming up, but this is one of the setups. It goes up when you guys donate and stuff, so turn off the camera.